May 2, 2011. The world's most wanted man was dead. But what happened next was even more mysterious. No grave, no tombstone, no final resting place. Instead, a body wrapped in white linen, a prayer whispered aboard a warship, and then the sea. This is the story of how Osama bin Laden was buried and why the United States chose the ocean over the earth. The raid was over. SEAL Team 6 had completed their mission. Bin Laden was dead, shot twice in his Abbottabad compound. But the mission wasn't just to kill, it was to confirm, to prove, to close the chapter. The SEALs took his body, they photographed it, they collected DNA, they flew it out of Pakistan. Destination: USS Carl Vinson, a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier stationed in the northern Arabian Sea. The clock was ticking. Islamic tradition calls for burial within 24 hours, but this wasn't just any burial. This was the body of the man behind 9/11. The U.S. government faced a dilemma. Where do you bury the most infamous terrorist in modern history? Option 1. Return to Saudi Arabia, bin Laden's birthplace, but the Saudis refused. Option 2. Bury in Pakistan, where he was found, but that risks turning the site into a shrine. Option 3. Bring him to the U.S. Unthinkable, too political, too dangerous. There was only one option left, one that avoided land, avoided legacy, avoided martyrdom: the sea. Aboard the USS Carl Vinson, preparations began. The crew followed Islamic burial rites. The body was washed, wrapped in a white shroud, placed in a weighted bag. A military officer read religious verses. The ceremony lasted minutes. Then, the body was placed on a flat board, tilted, slid into the sea. No coordinates were released, no markers, no trace. Just water. The decision was strategic, political, religious, practical. Political. No country wanted the body, no government wanted the responsibility, no leader wanted the backlash. Religious. Islamic law calls for swift burial. The U.S. wanted to show respect, even to an enemy, to avoid inflaming tensions in the Muslim world. Practical. A land burial risks becoming a shrine, a rallying point, a symbol. The sea offered anonymity, finality, no grave to visit, no place to honor, just silence. But not everyone was convinced. Skeptics asked, was it really bin Laden? Why no photos released to the public? Why no independent confirmation? Conspiracy theories spread, that he was still alive, that he was buried elsewhere, that the U.S. was hiding something. But the government stood firm. DNA matched, facial recognition confirmed, photos were shown to select officials. President Obama chose not to release them. He said, "We don't need to spike the football." Bin Laden's burial didn't end terrorism, but it ended a chapter. Al-Qaeda confirmed his death. The compound in Abbottabad was demolished, his family was detained, his legacy fractured. The burial at sea became symbolic, a message: no shrine, no sanctuary, no second life, just water. The ocean is vast, it holds secrets, it swallows history. Bin Laden's burial was more than logistics, it was a statement. That justice had no borders, that memory had no monument, that some stories end without a grave. For some, it was closure, for others, it was mystery, but for history, it was unprecedented. Narrator. Reflective. Osama bin Laden's final chapter didn't end in a courtroom, or a prison, or a grave. It ended in the sea, silent, unmarked, gone. This is the story of how the world's most wanted man was buried and why the United States chose the ocean over the earth. If this story moved you, if it made you think, question, or reflect, don't let it end here. Like, share, subscribe, and join us next time as we dive deeper into the shadows of history.